Welcome to the Power of Your Mind podcast. I'm Victoria Gallagher, your host. Have you been attempting to use law of attraction or hypnosis to attract financial abundance, a soulmate, or career success? Would you like to be happy, motivated, and successful? Have better health, enjoy more fulfilling relationships, overcome struggle, and gain mastery over your life? Then join me on this amazing self-help podcast where you'll unleash the power of your mind. I'll be sharing 20 years of wisdom and techniques of hypnotherapy, law of attraction, visualization, meditation, personal growth, positive affirmations, and other effective methods to help you tap into the great power which resides in your mind and become the best version of yourself. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You're listening to episode number 71. I'm Victoria Gallagher, Law of Attraction coach and #1 best-selling author of Practical Law of Attraction, Align Yourself with the Manifesting Conditions and Successfully Attract Your Desires. I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist, founder of HipTalk.com and HypnoCloud apps. So be sure to stop by HipTalk.com, sign up for your free self-hypnosis video training course. And also for our listeners who found us through the Power of Your Mind podcast, you can get up to 35% off your first order of hypnosis downloads when you apply the code podcast to your shopping cart. Also, be sure to download our latest HypnoCloud app in the iTunes store. Today, we're going to be doing a reading from my book, Practical Law of Attraction. So my book, Practical Law of Attraction, is broken down into several sections. It's broken down into 5 different sections. The first part, we go into a little bit of introduction. Then we go into the mind models. The third part goes into the conditions needed, the 8 conditions needed for manifesting. The fourth part are the qualities, the personal qualities that you need to develop within yourself that are going to help you to raise your energy vibration, because it is all about your energy vibration. You need to raise yourself to the energetic level that your dreams and goals are on in order to be able to attract better circumstances and people and situations into your life. And the 5th part of my book is about the tools and techniques and strategies that you can use in order to create all of those things. So there are 16 qualities that I talk about in my book, anywhere from attitude to charisma to focus to motivation. And the quality that I want to talk about today is integrity, and how integrity plays such a huge role in your life when it comes to being able to manifest anything in your life. Talk is cheap. That's an expression that we use a lot to describe a situation that is much easier said than done. This common expression implies that you don't believe that the person is going to fulfill on their promise. And unfortunately, it's a very common expression to say one thing, and it's just very common for you to say one thing and then do another thing. And this is regarded as a normal way of being. It's a rational way of being. People break their word with each other all the time and then flippantly apologize repeatedly, as if the person that they broke their word with is the one suffering the consequences. However, the person who's suffering the consequences for breaking the word is yourself. So let's just go ahead and start with a definition of integrity, because many people think of the definition of integrity in terms of morality, doing the right thing. And while living with integrity by its very nature inherently would have you do the right thing, integrity means something different than that, something greater. Integrity comes from the root word integer, which means a whole number, a number that is not a fraction, and a thing which is complete. So let's use that definition. Let's use the definition of whole and complete. So what does it mean to be whole and complete, and why is the quality so important for attracting things into your life? So for many years, I have been a student of landmark education, and they put integrity into the context of honoring your word as yourself, honoring your word as yourself. And I very much subscribe to this theory that your integrity is all about the power of your word. Your word is you. Your word is your power. Your word is your ability to create, to be effective, and to be trustworthy. So let's talk about trustworthy for a moment. Just think about something that you rely heavily on. Maybe it's your phone, maybe it's your car, maybe it's your house, maybe it's a person, whatever it is. Think about that thing, and we're just going to put this into terms, say your car. So if your car that you rely heavily on is missing any parts or resources, such as fuel, then it's not going to function at optimal levels. The car is not whole and complete. The car is out of integrity. So let's compare that with your word. Now, you might think that making a promise to yourself to work out tomorrow, or tell your friend that you're going to call them at 1:00 is quite normal. However, when you don't hold those agreements, you're breaking your word. Not only with that other person, but with yourself. And it's the same thing. The power of your word has just ticked down a notch. It's not whole and complete. You're no longer whole and complete with your word. So when you fail to honor your word, you're undermining and diminishing yourself, because you're less than whole and complete. Not only do you appear untrustworthy to others, but now you're vulnerable to no longer being able to trust yourself. And yet it's almost universally accepted and rationalized to not even acknowledge this when this happens. You just blow it off. You don't bring it up. You don't say anything about it. You just, oh well. And when we break our word, we make all sorts of excuses, and we let ourselves off the hook. Now, breaking your word doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean any of that. It just simply means that you didn't do something that you said that you were going to do. Now, in the world of manifesting, when it comes to you making your word, okay, with your subconscious mind about something that you want to accomplish or achieve, some desire that you want to set out to do in your life, and you've been breaking your word all along, subconscious mind just basically says that is BS. You're probably not going to do that because you don't normally do the things that you say that you're going to do. And it's the more we keep our word and we keep the agreements that we make with, and whenever we make an agreement with somebody else, we're making that with ourselves. We're always making that with ourselves. And so in order to build that confidence and that faith and that trust in ourselves and belief in ourselves, we have to keep our word. And so we're not off the hook when we break our agreements with other people, because there's just simply no way for you to quantify the damage that gets done when you don't keep your word. If you did exactly what you said that you would do 100% of the time, just think about how much power that would give you. And even if you did, it's not to say that you're going to always keep your word. If you're breaking agreements, it means that you're trying to go beyond what your comfort zones, allows you to do. And so it's okay that we do get out of agreement from time to time. You're not pushing yourself enough if you don't get out of agreement from time to time. So what do you do when that happens? Well, I'm going to talk about that in a moment. So just think about, though, how much more effective you would be if you were creating your life based on keeping your word, based on your integrity. What if you always went to the gym when you said that you were going to go? 100% of the time. What if that was normal? It would be odd for you not to do it. It would be out of character for you. You just know that you're doing it because you said you would. There would be no question whatsoever about whether your word about going to the gym was going to cause you to go to the gym. Your word would just cause you to do that because it's powerful, and you're building up equity in your word. You're building up more power behind your word. So how would other areas of your life improve and increase? Well, when you always act upon your word, then your word is what's creating your reality. So it's not about like being a bad person or a good person. It's just simply about the power of your word gets strengthened every time you keep an agreement, and the power of your word weakens every time you break an agreement. Now, it seems kind of unfair, okay? And there are ways to get around this. So when you fail to act according to your word, you're really kind of at the mercy of what life throws your way. You're not really the one that's controlling and effectuating change in your life. Now, just like the car situation that I mentioned earlier, just like that, cars can be restored back to whole and complete, right? They can become reliable again. They can become trustworthy again. They can become good as new. The amount of work required to get that car back to whole and complete again depends upon how much out of integrity they are, right? If you really think of it in terms of that, you can really begin to understand that it is in direct proportion to the amount of integrity or lack of integrity that requires you to get it back into agreement again. So the same holds true with your integrity. You can restore yourself back to pure, innocent, whole, and complete. Once again, you have a completely clean and blank canvas for choosing your life to be exactly as you say that you want it to be. So integrity, it actually does go beyond your spoken agreements. It's about authenticity. It's about valuing yourself and your personal values in life. What do you value most in your life? Just think about this question for a moment. Say that one of your top values is health, for example. Now let's just look. Is the way that you're living your life in alignment with that value? Are you living your life as if that area is most important to you. And the truth is mirrored back to you and will suggest what is actually important to you. So what are you putting up with? Is your health your number one? If your health is your number one value in your life, then why would you allow yourself to weigh more than your ideal weight? Why would you not be exercising, going to the doctor, dealing with a health issue that could easily be rectified? And, why would you allow yourself to do that if health is your number one value? So there's something that's out of alignment there. And it really gets brought back to the word, the power to create. You're saying one thing on one hand, and you're doing another on the other hand. You say health is important to you, but you're allowing yourself to treat your body like it's not, okay? And that's a misalignment. And this really just can go into any value, anything that you value. If you say that your self-esteem is important to you and you wind up in a relationship where you allow people to verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically abuse you, okay? There is a misalignment there. So whatever it is, whatever your top values are you living as if those things are your top values? The power of your word really influences your neural pathways actually in your brain. Your word being in or out of alignment influences the energy field all around you and the power that you have to co-create with universal intelligence. So it can be really confusing to the subconscious mind and the superconscious when your words and your actions don't match. We all do it. We just accept these little white lies and that we tell each other and that we tell ourselves. It's okay if you're just a little bit out of integrity, right? It's normal. It's realistic. People do it all the time. Don't make a big deal out of that, right? Just be normal. Well, if normal is the type of life that you want, keep breaking your word and keep doing that, okay? So it is normal. And if that's what you want, it's no big deal. But if you want the type of life that, at least you're intentionally able to control, you're intentionally able to change your life in order to be able to have more freedom, to feel happier, then it is a very, very big deal. If you want success, if you want to be able to actually have control over changing, manifesting things with your word, then you have to strengthen your word. And you have to go beyond what people think is normal. You got to just get rid of that whole concept of normal. I mean, we didn't come here to live a normal life. There's no such thing really as normal. It's just a construct. It's just something that we made up to settle ultimately, to just sort of be like, the rest of the people. We all have our own unique path, and we can create whatever unique path we want to create, but it's going to require you to have a clean relationship with your word. The deeper levels of mind don't look at the size of the word that you broke with yourself. So it doesn't matter if you said that you were going to call somebody and you called them 5 minutes late, or you called them an hour late. It's late. It's after the time in which you called them. And if you really think about that in terms of what you want to manifest in your life, I mean, if you miss the thing that you wanted to attract, whether you miss it by a small amount or a large amount, you still missed it. If you missed it by 5% or you missed it by 90%, you still missed it. You still didn't get it. And so the more we can sharpen our word with ourselves, the more we're going to be able to the more we're going to strengthen the power of the word. That's what it's all about. Whenever the words and the actions don't line up, it just chips away at your true, pure, innocent nature, your original state of being, that you came into this world having a blank slate to create anything that you want, anything, a nothingness of pure, untainted, and extraordinary power and potential. It exists within all of us, not just some of us. All of us have this unlimited potential and power inside of us, and we can all tap into that. And it is much easier to tap into that when we're clear. When we're clear. And part of being clear, part of being aligned is, not having these things, these unspoken and spoken broken agreements. If you find value in this personal growth related material, I strongly recommend that you sign up for your $1 trial to my Personal Growth Club. Just head on over to personalgrowthclub.com and get a whole month of premium Personal Growth Club video training materials, meditations. You also get 6 free hypnosis sessions that are valued at over $174, all for this trial of just $1. Even if you cancel, you can keep the 6 hypnosis sessions. That's my gift to you, and that's how confident I am that you are going to love Personal Growth Club. Go to personalgrowthclub.com and start your $1 1-month trial today. From that place of total purity, total wholeness, there's no doubts, there's no fears, there's no bad habits, there's no limitations. A blank canvas is completely empty. It's clean, it's unmarked, it's ready to be turned into something. And you can wipe the slate clean, strengthen the power of your word, and become a clear channel for manifestation. So to gain access to create the world, it does require you to restore yourself back to integrity. And so here's the simplest way that you can do that. Here's how you do it. Actually, very, very simple. And you can just get in the habit of doing this. And the more you actually get, this will actually fix your broken agreement. This will fix doing it in the future, because you become aware. This is really just about becoming aware of, even being proactive about what you're going to state in the future, and kind of knowing yourself and knowing what you're capable of. Now, it's not about, I just want to caution you, it's not about now being non-committal. We don't want to go in the opposite direction and not commit to anything. Okay, just because, that's a dance that people will do. They'll say, well, I just won't make any more agreements, so that then I'm not breaking anything. Well, with no agreements, with no commitment, you're certainly not going to have the power to manifest. Again, it's about saying what you will do and doing it. Saying what you will do and doing it. And that is the quickest way to ultimately get the power back, put the power on your side, so that you can create a life of freedom, liberty, and live the life of your dreams. So here's the formula for restoring integrity. As soon as you know, the minute you know that you're not going to do what you said, which includes the way you said that you would do it, you make a new promise and you keep the new promise. Simple as that. It's really that simple. The moment you know, though, you don't wait to find, you don't wait until somebody calls you out on it and then make up some excuse as to why you did that. You don't, show up 5, 10, 15 minutes late for an appointment and then once you get there, you say what happened. No, the moment you know that you're going to break your word, whether it's with yourself or with somebody else, you simply acknowledge it and say what you will do differently in the future. And by adopting this very simple practice, you've now honored your word. Now you've gotten back into agreement. You've made a new agreement. It's okay to renegotiate. Life does happen. Things do happen. Emergencies happen. Cars break down. Family emergencies happen. Deaths happen. Things do happen which cause us to go out of our word. We sometimes overcommit ourselves, and these things do happen. And so but to just kind of flippantly not acknowledge it, that's where it chips away at the power. So you want to increase that power. You simply just want to acknowledge it, and now you've honored your word. Here's an example. You agreed to meet your friend at 1:00 for lunch, and at noon, an hour before that, something happened which is more than likely going to make you late for your lunch appointment with that person, okay? You could try to make it. You could try to outpace the speed limit. You could, do all kinds of things, break all kinds of other agreements to try to uphold that one agreement. Or, you could just simply contact that person at the very moment that you realize that this is going to cause me to get out of agreement with what we had originally talked about. And so without making any excuses, you just simply contact that person and you say, hey, I am running 15 minutes late. And would it be okay if we met at such and such time instead? Great. So now we've made a new agreement. You've not, and then, you could go as far as to say, and in the future, I will, do this in order to make sure that I keep that agreement with you as well. Like there's deeper and deeper levels of this, but the minimum level is simply to acknowledge it and make a new agreement. That's the minimum level. But there's deeper levels. You could empathize with, now anytime you've broken an agreement, there's an impact. Somebody else was expecting something from you. Okay. And when you've made an agreement and then their expectation has now had to have, doesn't get met in the exact way that they were expecting it to happen, then there's a micro or a major, could be a major impact. But, at this level, it's probably just a minor impact. Most people will say, oh, I didn't care. I don't really care. It's okay. Right. But that's just the way we talk. There is an impact that somebody experiences when there's a slight little bit of doubt, trust, if you continue to do that with that same person over and over, they kind of come to not rely on you. Like, do you know those people that they're always 15 minutes late, they're always half an hour late, and you have to tell them that you want them there half an hour sooner. So in order for them to actually get there at the time that you really wanted them there. And so you become unreliable. The person has to kind of they can't really count on you. And the more important than those people is, again, it's you. It's you that it has the biggest impact on. So I really want you to think of it in terms of you're the one ultimately that pays the price, because the subconscious mind is constantly listening, constantly recording, constantly comparing information and data, and it's not personal, it's simply literal, and it's literally recording everything you say. And so it knows that when 80% of the time you're not doing the things that you say that you're going to do, what you're doing is you're creating that 80% of the times you don't do what you say you're going to do. Does that make sense? And so that is ultimately what we need to do. Your friend is going to say, oh, okay, that's okay, but it's not okay. How that person is feeling, they're making up a little white lie to make you feel better. Okay. And so to restore integrity in this situation, all you need to do is simply call the person at the moment when you found out that something is going to cause you to be a little late. You don't explain. You just simply mention something happened and I need to renegotiate what time we meet. I can arrive at 1:15. Is that okay with you? And then you keep your promise to arrive at 1:15 and integrity is stored. Now, just again, integrity, I want to caution you, does not mean perfection. Unforeseen events are going to happen, plans change. Not acknowledging, though, when your original agreement changed and pretending like nothing happened creates an unspoken negative energy. Life is just easier when you live with integrity. Restoring yourself to act with integrity is as difficult as changing any habit would be at first. However, the more you act with integrity, the easier your life steadily becomes. As you act with integrity in everything you do, you're going to find every part of your life is going to improve, and you're going to begin to attract the best people and the best situations to your life. So now I would like to help you even more with integrity by doing an integrity meditation with you right now. And so we're going to begin this session in just a moment by simply tapping in and relaxing, kind of slowing down, tapping into our breathing, slowing down, taking a nice deep breath. If you're just now joining us, you can just begin to close your eyes and know that we'll be doing this for about the next 20 minutes. So just know that you want to set aside all distractions, any noise makers. If you're driving, you want to make sure that you turn this off right now. Turn this off right now if you're driving, and save it to do another time, because we're going to be going into hypnosis. We're going to be going into the alpha state. We're going to be closing our eyes. You would not want to close your eyes while you're driving. This is a meditation. We close our eyes. We're not doing other things while we're doing this. We're not operating any heavy machinery or anything like that. The only way that you should do this next step here is if you are in a safe, quiet environment where you will not be disturbed for the next 20 minutes. So I want to really emphasize that, because I'm going to talk about some things here and ask you to really tune into your inner mind now, And, we've been listening to the information through our beta consciousness, and now we're actually going to be listening to a meditation, which I'm going to do for you here in the next little while. All right. So if you are in a safe, quiet, calm environment where you will not be disturbed for the next 20 minutes and you are at home, you're, on a chair, a couch, a bed, someplace comfortable where you can relax and let go ahead now and close your eyes. Get into an open body position with your arms and your legs uncrossed. And today, let's just go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Okay, settle into a comfortable position and let all thoughts dissipate. And as you listen to my voice, you're going to find yourself naturally relaxing. And you will feel the muscles on your head and in your face releasing all tension. Each muscle relaxing as you breathe in gently and breathe out. And just concentrate and listen to my voice. Slowly, all external sounds fade into the background, making you feel even more relaxed. And you can allow your eyes to gently close if not already. Just simply allow my voice to guide you as you become even more relaxed. Just feel the wave of calmness sweeping down over your shoulders and down your arms, lifting the tension, bringing in ease and calm. So calm, so peaceful, so relaxed. Even the muscles in your hands relax. Your hands may feel limp and numb. This peaceful relaxation continues moving all the way down your body, through your whole middle part of your body, your chest, your torso, your stomach. Good. Even your calf muscles, your toes. Feel this peaceful, sleepy wave of relaxation. And everything gives way to perfect peace and relaxation. And you are sinking deeper and deeper. And it feels so warm, so pleasant, so calm, so very natural. Deeper still. With just my voice guiding you. There's no need for you to do anything else but listen to my voice, guiding you to a deeper, sleepy place. So deep now, calm and content, very open to suggestion. Your inner mind opening and ready to listen. And you will continue to relax even further as you listen to my words. You are so at peace. And it may feel like being asleep, yet aware of yourself and still in control. This is all so peaceful. Sleep. Deeper into relaxation now. The greatest freedom that any of us has is the ability to be exactly who we are. We must learn to please ourselves and stand up for what we believe in. Living your dream by living with integrity is what you were put on this earth to do. It is your calling. You have taken on a new mindset today, a new motivation. You know it takes great courage to live your purpose and to live with integrity. When you live with integrity, as you are doing so now, you believe in ways that are in harmony with your personal values. You make choices based on what you believe. You always speak your truth, and you ask for what you want, need, and deserve in all things. When you live with integrity and authenticity, you are honest and truthful when it comes to those things you believe in. It means being sincere to yourself as well as others. You are taking this precious time today to seek your purpose, to listen to that divine voice that speaks from within. Living with integrity allows you to be joyous and happy and strong. It energizes you. It allows you to walk your path with integrity and conviction. Every day, every moment, and every second, there is a choice to live with integrity and peace and authenticity. It feels good to live like this, with a sense of joy and satisfaction. Now that you have made this incredible life-changing decision to live with personal integrity and authenticity, you feel as if your life is transforming. You are on the brink of an incredible breakthrough. Everything is coming together in the perfect time, in the perfect way. The reward for continually upgrading your sense of personal integrity is that you become more conscious of your authentic and harmonious nature, moment by moment and day by day. Now imagine you are traveling on a sacred and very personal journey, a journey in which you are living with integrity every moment of every day. This path you are traveling on allows you to shed the inauthentic layers. It gives you a sense of freedom and aliveness. It allows you to fully express your wants, needs, and desires. Now, as you travel on this road, you realize it is a beautiful day. The sun is shining brightly, and the air feels warm on your skin. You might be traveling on a brick road, a gravel road, or even a dirt road. Whatever you envision is right for you. You find yourself passing by beautiful fields of flowers, large trees, or even fields of wheat or clover. You just feel good to be you today. You are living authentically and with integrity. You are standing up for your values. You are living with honor. You suddenly realize that you walk carrying a large sack of things that you need to leave behind. These things have been disguising the real you. So I want you to take a deep breath and smell the peace and the joy of this place. You are more than ready for this change. You begin to realize that you can only live honestly and integrity. And you can simply remove anything from your sack that isn't aligned with your personal goals and values. And you come to a nice bench by a wonderful tree and you decide to sit down and evaluate your life. You set the sack down and you begin examining it. And you see some things that you might choose to keep, while others you choose to leave behind. You may discard or repurpose anything you like. And if you leave something behind, someone else may come along and use it for something good. So nothing is wasted. So just begin to go through those things one by one. Perhaps the people in your life. Situations you find yourself in. Relationships. Careers. Even your spiritual values and beliefs. Just examine each of these things one by one. There aren't any right or wrong decisions, only your decisions. What's right for you? What do you want? Just take some time making sure that your actions are matching up with the things that you are saying. Making sure that you are living according to those principles you believe in. Integrity is consistency of values and actions. Being complete. So just release anything that isn't in alignment with your ideal life. You can be a little selfish here. This is your life. And you can simply release things gently by just setting them aside tossing them out into the air, the sky, just whatever feels right for you. You can choose to only release one thing today, nothing at all, or many things. Because you can come back and do this anytime you like. But go ahead and look through this sack now and see if there's anything that no longer aligns with who you are. And I'll be quiet for a moment while you work through this process. Okay. That's right. Very good. Very good. Just taking a deep breath and let that go. Taking another deep breath and let that go. And just while you're sitting there, just think about your goals and your dreams and your values, dreams you have for your life. What does it mean to live your life with integrity? What does it mean to you? To align your actions so they match your values and inner knowingness of what is right for you. Your values change over time. So what was right for you last year, you may look at with a fresh eye now. Knowing your values by taking time to think about them allows you to act in ways that are consistent with those values. When you know what is important for you, then you can make decisions based on that and see results come about because of your dedication to those values. So take a moment, think about how you define integrity. What are those things that are important for you? And what are some steps you can take to begin walking this new journey, this journey of integrity? You feel complete today, authentic, joyful. Living with this sense of personal integrity makes you feel vital and alive. You are stronger and more vibrant, and living with integrity, strength, and purpose. Now that you've begun this journey of integrity, you realize that sack has changed. It's lighter and brighter. It's rejuvenated. And within it are only those things you hold near and dear to your heart, to your life. You feel incredibly peaceful, joyful, and light. You have the power to accomplish anything now. You are walking your own path with courage, faith, and honor. You honor yourself and your life today by having taken this journey. As you breathe in the breath of fresh air and breathe it out, just repeat in your mind, I always live with integrity and honor. I am authentic. I speak my truth. I ask for the things I want, need, and desire. I stand up for what I believe. Everything in your life is transforming from this one small change. It feels incredible to live life like this, to be so free, pure, and whole. All of these suggestions have a way of steadily becoming your actions, behaviors, personality from this moment forward. And they become stronger and stronger with each and every day. You are living with honor and integrity and authenticity. And everything in your life is getting better and better. And in a moment, we will come back to feeling fresh and awake, but still relaxed. You'll be wide awake and yet wonderfully calm. So I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and on each number, you will become more and more aware of the room that you're in, more awake, beginning now. Number 1, becoming aware of the room that you're in, the chair beneath you. Number 2, muscles feeling more awake, aware. Number 3, eyelids may flutter. Your neck and shoulders start to awaken. Number 4, aware of all the internal and external noises. And number 5, eyes open, wide awake, wide awake. Good. Great work. Hello, this is Victoria Gallagher. I hope you're enjoying listening to the Power of Your Mind podcast. As a way of thanking you for listening, I'd like to offer you a one-time discount of 35% off your first order at hiptalk.com. Just go to hiptalk.com and enter the code PODCAST in the discount code area in your cart, and you'll receive 35% off your first order. Thank you so much for listening to the Power of Your Mind podcast. And thank you for listening. So once again, be sure to stop by hiptalk.com, sign up for your free self-hypnosis video training course. And for our listeners who found us through the Power of Your Mind podcast, you can get 35% off your first order of hypnosis downloads when you apply the code podcast to your shopping cart. Also, be sure to watch for and download our latest HypnoCloud app in the iTunes Store. And if you really want to experience the book, Practical Law of Attraction, and integrate these concepts deeply into your being and make a profound change in your life success, then I highly encourage you to go to victoriamgallagher.com, where you will find all kinds of information there, but you will also find a link to the Law of Attraction intensive training that I'm going to be doing all over the world. You can also just Google search Law of Attraction Intensive. It's a 2 full-day intensive workshop where we do a lot of inner work on breaking through limiting beliefs, raising your energy vibration so that you can attract more of what you want in your life. It's an amazing life transforming experience. And I'll be doing the next one in Toronto, Canada on October 27th, 28th, which is a Sunday and Monday. It's part of the HypnoBiz convention. Then in London, I'm going to be doing it again on November 16th and 17th, which is a Saturday and Sunday. And then in Sydney, Australia, March 21st and 22nd, which is also a Saturday and Sunday. The seating is limited, so be sure to sign up right now and change your life for the better. So once again, I'm Victoria Gallagher from Power of Your Mind podcast. Tune into new episodes each and every week where we bring you tools, techniques, and strategies based on meditation, hypnosis, affirmations, and law of attraction. Thanks again for listening and watching, and tune in next week and every week to the Power of Your Mind podcast. Bye for now. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with your friends. And once again, be sure to subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast if not already. We can be found as Hip Talk on all our social media accounts. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and sign up for your free self-hypnosis video training course at hiptalk.com. Be sure to subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast, and you'll be instantly notified the moment the next podcast becomes available. Also, please be sure to leave a rating and a review to tell us how you're enjoying these episodes, and that way you're making a contribution toward others getting to share in this valuable information. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. You've been listening to the Power of Your Mind podcast, brought to you by HipTalk.com, Personal Growth Club, and HypnoCloud apps available at iTunes.